Hi, and welcome to my podcast, Confessions of a Worship Leader. In this podcast, I want to talk about an event that happens in the UK, and it's called Spring Harvest. Now, this takes place in what is known these days as a holiday resort. And these resorts, they started life as holiday camps in the 1930s. And the most famous of these was Butlins, which was founded by a guy called Billy Butlin. And the idea was to provide holiday accommodation, affordable holidays for ordinary British families. They were huge holiday camps, and guests would stay in chalets, and there would be unlimited food and entertainment in the bars, the theatres, and cinemas on site. Now, in 1998, I led worship at Spring Harvest for the very first time, and the venue was the Butlins Holiday Resort in Minehead, which is a small seaside resort in the west of England. There were more than 5,000 Christians on the site, drawn mainly from evangelical Christian denominations. Now, the main worship celebration was held in a big circus tent, which held about 5,000 people. But for my first event, I was given responsibility for leading worship at what was known as the alternative celebration. This was a little bit more experimental than what happened in the Big Top, and there were about 800 people in the venue each night. Now, the alternative celebration took place in a bar called the Beachcomber, and it had a sort of Hawaiian tiki beach bar feel. I guess when it was designed in the mid-1960s, it would have been seen as quite exotic for those guests who had never travelled beyond the UK. Now, just inside the entrance to the bar, there was a display which consisted of a large rowing boat filled with several life-size mermaids that were completely naked from the waist up, so their plaster boobs were on view for all to see. I guess this presented the organisers of Spring Harvest with some questions. For example, are naked mermaids going to cause any offence? Will a naked mermaid cause somebody to stumble spiritually? Should we leave them uncovered or cover them up? Well, Spring Harvest did not want anyone to fall into sin, lusting after topless mermaids. But I would suggest that anybody who gets sexually aroused by a non-existent life form made of fiberglass might need some help. The simple answer was therefore a cover-up. So all the mermaids wore black plastic dustbin liners on their top half. To me, it looked ridiculous. Who knows? Perhaps some of the red-blooded males who attended our nightly worship event fantasized about what was hidden beneath those black bags. Anyway, nothing changed until the final day of the event, when by some miracle all these mermaids had lost their bin bags and were clad in colourful, lacy bras. The organisers must have puzzled over who could have done this. Well, after all these years, I can finally reveal what happened. I can now confess that my band decided to do something about it. They visited the lingerie department of a local store, bought some colourful bras, and clothed the mermaids with more suitable apparel than a bin liner. We all had a good laugh about it, and I'm sure others did as well. Thanks for listening to my confession.